All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe. I'm talking about the literal globe today. We are here for the global discussion on mental health and illness and solutions. And real quickly, we have a wonderful panel, wonderful qualified guest today. We got Mr. Deon Dean Adams, ladies and gentlemen, intuitive healer coach. And conscioushealingarts.net is the website. Conscioushealingarts.net is his website. He's in Australia. We have the wonderful and talented and beautiful Miriam Wallin, ladies and gentlemen, certified life coach, author, and speaker. Her website is anchoroffreedom.com, anchoroffreedom.com in Norway. We also have Mr. Nigel Goodwin, ladies and gentlemen. He's a mental health coach. He's in the UK. I want to welcome them to this wonderful time. My name is Kevin Vaughan in the United States. Thank you so much, Deon, Nigel, and Miriam, for being with us today. How are you all doing?
No, today's been epic for me. I've done
Yes,
healings on clients today.
yes,
Wow, it's just a beautiful thing because it's not from me, but it's through me that the healings have done.
yes, sir.
So then the ego doesn't take over. But there's so many people struggling with mental health. And
Mhm.
even the fact that I'm striking a lot of people that have been manipulated by others to suit themselves. And through that, I've discovered that people hide themselves away when they have mental health, what we talked about last week.
Yes, sir.
And those fears and phobias become heightened when someone becomes manipulated. When they realize that they're being manipulated, it then brings more emotion and fear into them, and then they hide away even more.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
think tonight, I think I'm going to hand it over to Nigel tonight, just a bit, to talk about something we were talking about earlier. Nigel, what were we talking about earlier?
We were talking about toxic people, how they negatively affect our lives, and also um, how to get rid of them out of your life.
That's basically similar to what I was talking about a moment ago. Nigel, I'll lead it over to you.
Sure, yeah. Thanks very much. Thank you very much. Before I look at how to get rid of toxic people, I'll just give you a quick explanation of what a toxic person is. So, a toxic person is someone whose behaviour adds negativity to upset one's life. Many people who are toxic have got their own stresses and traumas, um, but they usually upset others along the way by the way they relate their traumas to others. It's not considered a mental disorder as such. And some of the traits of a toxic personality are obviously they're very negative. They tend to blame others and are not responsible for themselves. Very critical and judgmental of others. Possess a lack of empathy. They have a sense of entitlement. They think everything they should have everything, and they can be very manipulative.
Mhm.
I've found over the last few years of using this, what I've studied, I've managed to get rid of a few toxic people in my life that I wasn't aware of, um, because I wasn't familiar with this knowledge. Um, they also can be exploitative, difficulty regulating their unwanted emotional states. Sometimes they try and use emotional blackmail to get what they want, and they tend to assume a victim role. The world's against them, and nothing ever goes right. They can act in a passive aggressive manner, and also they can be quite hostile. So it can be seen that toxic people are the opposite of what we as in a higher vibration want in our lives. Um, the 7 ways that I've found, I won't go through one in great detail because there's a lot of information, but briefly, number one is identify the toxicity. So you need to recognize the fact that, is this person toxic in my life? And if you think it's weighing down on you or causing lots of grief in your life, it's time to let that person go. Be firm. Be firm with toxic people. Tell them your intentions. Make sure the message isn't misunderstood. Set boundaries and stick with them. Make sure you keep the guidelines. Again, it's looking with be firm. Don't be too nice. This might sound harsh, but they can take advantage of your kindness. And don't be overly accommodating. Number 5, realize it's not your job to save them. They need something. They tend to show up when they need something, particularly during crisis moments. You can try and direct them to resources, mental health resources or whatever, to help them resolve their issues. It's not your responsibility to solve them because it may be beyond your capabilities as well. Know that, number 6, know that when it's done, it's done. Sometimes toxic people will try and come back to you. You know, you've tried to get rid of them and they'll try and come back. But again, establish your limits for the interactions. I'll only speak on the phone once a month to you. I'll only visit during the holidays, you know, whatever the boundaries are. And the last one, number 7, is treat the separation between you and the toxic person like it's a breakup, not the breakup it is. We all need relationships, but we don't want people that are going to bring us down or cause us any extra grief and pain that we deserve. As the saying goes, energy flows where attention goes. So if you get toxic people in your life, they're going to be sending negative information and negative vibes your way. And the more time you spend away, obviously, from toxic people, the more time you got to spend with people that are more positive, uplifting, and important to you. So make time for people who bring you happiness, who you've got a similar vibe with, and let go of those who don't. There's 6 types I've got identified here of toxic people in the glossary. There's the narcissist, who basically cares about themselves. The controller, as that says, tries to control everything around them. They don't like to be in charge. There's the drama magnet, feeds off gossip, drama, and they seem to create this drama seems to follow them. They seem to have this thing of wherever they go, whatever they touch, they get drama. The energy vampire drains you of energy. All the negativity just drains you, and they can criticize and bully too. The compulsive liar obviously tells white lies constantly, and they try and manipulate you, and they're also good at giving you guilt trips, make you feel guilty. And the last one is the green-eyed. They're not happy for other people's good fortune, and they always play the victim. And that's it. That's my little discussion and talk on toxic people. Thank you very much.
Deon, we have you on mute, my friend.
Mute.
I should have done this.
Yeah, love it.
Okay, Nigel, can you expand more on when someone comes into your field of awareness like that, or comes into your life, is in another way of putting it, what someone would feel when it's like that, if you're very sensitive to energy, like an empath? Some people don't. Okay, can you also explain to people what an empath is too, please?
Well, for a start, obviously, you know, when you meet someone new, it takes a period of time before you get to know a bit about them. But using the information I've given you about toxic people, you can see whether if they fit into one of those 6 categories that I mentioned in the glossary at the end. So if a particular person talks in a certain way a lot of the time, then you can sort of pigeonhole them that yes, they're that type of toxic person. So it's monitoring and it's listening to communication, body language, what they tell you, the stories they tell you, and how they interact with you generally over a period of time.
Would you say that's sort of like gaslighting? I've heard that word gaslighting before.
I've heard of that word. That's trying to get relationships, isn't it?
What it means is that someone's going to tell you everything you're saying is wrong.
Yeah.
Like, say, like an example, like oh no, you're wrong about what you just said. Your research must be crap. You don't know what you're talking about. So then it gives you an inferiority complex.
Well,
Then
that's a
I'm
bit
not good enough, I'm not worthy.
yes, Dion, that's a bit like the controller in the types of people.
Yeah,
You know,
it's all around that. It's gaslighting. It's a way of
they make you
controlling and
feel like you can't
manipulating.
do anything right. You know, whatever you do is wrong. So they're constantly negating whatever you say and do.
All right.
Miriam, can you expand on this, please?
Yeah, I just believe I'm agree with you, Eagle. And to be surrounded with a toxic person that is terrible or quite draining for yourself. And it's so important to see that isn't something wrong with you. That is like a vampire that try to take all the power from you. And it's so important to see, be aware from it. And like you said, Deon Adam before, that you need 3 times a repetition in conscious mind, and that will be a habit for you. So it's so important to see what it really is about, so you don't allow this person into your life. It's so easy to stay in a relationship based with toxic person, to just be kind instead of see what's the reason why this person do and say all that he do, and how can we understand the habit and reaction they have. So it's a huge problematic. It's so many people who have this kind of life, to be in a relation with someone will just drain them instead to be free and to be able to create the future you want. So it's so important to see the reason why the person have this behavior, but that is not your fault. It's not your reason this person act like that. So you need to see who you are and to be able to overcome that as well.
We've just had a guest come in to listen to us, what we've had to say tonight. Vanilla, would you please come on, turn your camera on?
Just one moment.
Vanilla's a client of mine.
Good day.
Welcome.
Good day.
Vanilla, can you please relate to others what your experience of mental health and what you've endured from it?
So I don't know how long you've been on tonight, so I haven't really, I think I've just jumped in at,
No, that's all right.
I don't know what stage.
Please just relate your own experience of your own sort of journey
Yeah.
through
Oh, okay. So I've been in a few relationships that have not been stable, quite abusive mentally and physically, and a lot of that came from childhood. I grew up with a father who was mentally unstable, and so you end up in the pattern of choosing the same thing in your life because it's safe. That's all you've known. And so the only way that you can change all of that is if you have the help to be able to hold some keys to move you forward, because it's not always easy.
Vanilla, please relate some of the techniques that I've been working you with to help with the mental health.
Deon's very intuitive and has thought out. He doesn't just hear or listen, but he actually listens to what you're actually saying, and because he can intuitively pick up what is actually really going underneath, he will give you direction in things that he's taught himself to do.
Can you please give just one example of Vanilla?
Yeah. Gosh,
Even
they're
if
so
it's
sorry. I have to say I don't want to, sorry. Yeah, so there's been a lot of sound healing and meditations that I've grasped and practiced, because it's all about practicing things that are given to you. And Deon has given me lots of, and you have, but it's not just necessarily what he gives you. It's all about how you have to want to practice and heal at the same time. So every session that I've had with Deon, he listens for what's going on underneath at the time, and he will give me the strategies, or he'll give me the tools to help in that at that particular moment. And it could be with sound, it could be with meditations. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just like, yeah.
Nigel, Miriam, or Kevin, I'd like you to ask Fenella questions around what we've talked about so far, please. Nigel, let's start with you, please.
Sure, yeah. When you talk about Deon being intuitive, in what ways can you give us, an example or two, and how that helps?
So when I first joined Deon, he knew, he's, I guess, do you know anything about being clairvoyant or insightful spiritually? Yeah. So that's the sort of thing he picks up on. So there's no, you can't hide anything from him, because he'll pick up on it immediately.
Yeah.
So you could be saying one thing and he'll be going, nope. That's not what's going on. That's not what I feel and hear and see. Yeah.
Good. That's good.
And that's how you grow, because there's nothing to hide in the end.
Because
Everything gets.
Sometimes we can describe our situation not quite how it is, can't we, to make it suit ourselves? Do you think?
Because we just delete, distort, and generalize everything, because we receive over 2 million bits of information, but our conscious and unconscious mind only processes 2,000 bits, because then we delete, distort, and generalize them.
So in other words, we wear lots of masks, because
meditation I did what's called a bag of masks.
Yeah.
Because we do put a mask on in front of our work friends, or I'll rephrase that, work colleagues, our family, or we go out for dinner, we put on a different mask. If you feel the need to. I don't. If you don't like me, I don't give a fuck. You just be your authentic self. Like, this is what I've worked out with Fenella. And there's so many other tips and techniques. So some of them we did last week about cupping your hands under your knees, which I did with Fenella one day.
Yes.
And they're just simple techniques that these, I can be very mindful of my words here. Other people that do this work will tell you got to do all these fancy things. The most effective things are simple. I'm very mindful of my words here.
Yeah.
There's so many great healers and coaches and life coaches and blah, blah, blah around the world. But the most effective are the ones that come from here, not from here. The longest distance between 2 points is between the heart and the head. But your actually most effective brain is in your hara, or your tantian, 2 finger widths below your belly button, because your stomach's got all these antennas in it, like a Wi-Fi. Like if you get a gut feeling something's not right, or if you're going, that my stomach doesn't feel too good about these people, because those 3 brains, your gut brain, your heart brain, and your head brain. Your gut brain is your main brain, not the thing up here. That's where the ego sits. Because once you connect up the heart brain and the gut brain together, and that energy flows, like Nigel, what was that statement again, please? Your intention goes, energy flows.
Energy goes. Energy goes where attention. Attention goes where energy flows.
So when you're consciously focusing on something, that's where the energy is going, because you're constantly focusing, whether it's negativity, positivity.
Yeah.
So be mindful of what you're focusing. This is what I worked with Vanilla, and that's how. Miriam, can you expand on that, please?
Yeah, I think the most important part is just to reflect that all your thoughts yourself create a feeling, and this feeling create a new belief for yourself and action step in line. That's why it's so important to be aware of how you feel for yourself and what you allow yourself to feel, and to create a new structure in your mind. You know, we have these toxic people, we can't do so much about it, but we can have a choice if we allow them into our field or not. And how can we understand ourselves, the reason why we have them around us, and how can we be able to create a new way of thinking for ourselves, a new self-love for ourselves, so we don't have this kind of impact in our life. Everyone have this around us, but it's our responsibility for ourselves to take care of ourselves first, what we allow ourselves to have, and create a feeling, a new belief for yourself, that even if we have these toxic people in our life, that doesn't mean that they need to have the power over ourselves, and we have the power to change our mind and our structure and our feelings, so we can create a new belief for ourselves, a new way of thinking, to act in line with the person we want to become. It's why it's so important to see who we really are in ourselves, be in line with our inner self, or light within ourselves, and to be intuitive as well, to understand the deep we have in ourselves, the reason why we end up in this relation, and how can we change it so it don't happen in the future. So, for example, it's so important to see who we really are, to be able to create a new thing, a new act, a new meaning in our life.
Because the unconscious mind is trainable, because it once it survives something more than 3 times, whether it's tragedy, oppression, being controlled and manipulated, or joy, happiness, that's where addictions come from. So you have a glass of wine, you feel comfortable and relaxed. And then if it survives that 3 times, if it feels relaxed 3 times, then wants more of it. Because the unconscious mind is trained, all those things can be recoded within myriad of different techniques that I've worked with Miriam, and Miriam does similar work that I do. Fenella's experienced all of my growth and different things I've done. Fenella, what changes have you noticed when the way I work with you now?
I hadn't. So I've known Deon 2 years, or possibly even a bit longer. But anyway, oh my gosh! But you know what? The reasons Deon's grown is because he's put himself out there, and he's wanted to expand on his coaching, and has just learnt so much from structures he's learning today through other means. Okay.
You're doing good.
Yeah. I think it's like all of us, if we're willing to want to heal ourselves, and it's only causing growth. And there was a period where I wasn't being coached by Deon for about 6 or 7 months. And I've come back in, and I've seen so much growth in him, and it's because he's expanded on his coaching, which is causing more people to want to come and be coached by him.
This is a reminder.
Nigel's giving you a reminder.
What was that?
Hello, Nigel.
Nigel, Alexa Butty.
I know. We'll talk about that later. Can you, Miriam and Nigel, please ask Fenella any questions you need to know? that can help our audience that are listening tonight?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Whether it's a replay or not.
What sort of positive benefits, in summary, have you found that have really helped, Vanilla?
Okay, so that is only you will find out as a person how much you will benefit yourself. And because I know I want to grow and I know that I'm healing and want to heal and also be encouraged to do the same for others as well. I know I've expanded and I know that I can say that I love myself more now than I would have known myself 2 years ago. Yeah, thank you.
Self-love.
Pardon?
Self-love, important.
Yeah. So it's taking away and allowing yourself and feeling safe enough to be able to let yourself go enough to be able to be helped. So and I'm just grateful to Deon. Yeah. And I love him and I trust him.
Because it's about building rapport with your clients. Miriam and I work very similarly. When I'd say, Nigel, like you do as well, I think building rapport with your clients. Because then then you build a safe container for the client. So they know that they can open up fully instead of blocking it. Because I always sense when it's being blocked.
Yeah.
When I feel that when that sort of wall feels like it's rising, and generally it's based on a fear that they're being controlled or manipulated. But once you build that rapport with your clients, like Vanilla has found, you open up there. So then you surrender and allow things to happen naturally. Because if you try and force it or you block it, you're just like a rocking chair. You just oscillate backwards and forwards. Nigel, can you expand on that, please, somewhat?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with what you said at the beginning. You have to build a rapport. It's like if you're trying to get clients in, you have to not think of solving problems to start. You have to get to know the person and have to get to know you. And as you say, with your skills of being intuitive, you will pick up, being very sensitive. You'll pick up whether you're asking and talking about the right subjects and the right questions. You'll know that intuitively.
Or you're meeting the client where they're at, not where you're at.
That's right, yeah. And we've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we do a lot of listening.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
You should do it. No, I mean the coach should do a lot of listening as a coach. 2 ears and 1 mouth. Do a lot of listening. Make a lot of notes.
Would you agree that when you're Miriam, when you're actively listening to your client, Vanilla, thank you so much for being open and honest and
thanks, Vanilla,
being sort of very candid. We enjoy this because the whole aspect, if you can, please come every Thursday night. And there's a bonus in this for you, which I've already given you. Vanilla is grown immensely, mentally, physically, emotionally, grown a lot. She's at a point of her life that she's just on the threshold of changing a massive change in her life.
Well,
and I'm really proud of Vanilla.
Thank you.
Do you think as well, Vanilla, as what you've learned and how you've changed, you want to try and help others similar as well? Have you found that?
Oh, yes.
Good.
Oh, totally. Yes. I mean, this has always been, I think I've always done it anyway. Like I'm a hairdresser by trade. And so I was going down that track, but what I'm not going to do now is fix people's lives.
Right.
Because we're not broke. We don't need fixing.
Yeah. So it's all about teaching and giving them the power to take their own lives back.
Yes.
That very statement you just made then, notice what Vanilla said. Nigel and Miriam.
Mm.
Power. Do we give our power away to things? Whether it's judgment about ourselves or others.
Yeah.
You might get giving your power away to the fear of being judged, or the fear of failure, or the fear of this, or the fear of that. A lot of it's like anxiety is a fear of the future, of something that hasn't even fucking happened yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kevin, in your own life, when have you actually stepped into that fear about giving your power away to someone or something in your life? And can you relate to everyone? Give us an example, please.
One of the areas, I look at, I just didn't know. I have to say that I just didn't know what to do, right? You're always relying on older people, your family members or even your colleagues, right? To kind of figure out what you're supposed to be doing without thinking about, what I want to do from a professional standpoint. So I think most of mine, everyone came from my working in aerospace and just trying to figure out professionally what I was supposed to do, listening to everybody and trying to figure out, what they want me to do instead of figuring out what I need to do. So I think, Deon, the challenge was to really find myself in my own industry, if you will, own profession, whether it was business or professionally. So I just had to learn that, figure that out. But the only way I learned that was to tap into people like yourself, coaches, and professional people that could help you, and trainers that could help you, and reading the right books, of course, as well, to help me get away from that area. So a lot of stuff was just relying on other people, not thinking I could do what they were telling me to do. If that makes any sense.
These quite often that are holding you back. You can't see it unless someone points it. It's like the carrot dangling in front of your head. But now, can you give us an example of this when we worked on something that you weren't fully aware of?
Yeah, I'd have to think about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't have an example right this second. I need to think about that.
Okay. Nigel, and can I ask you and both Miriam to give me an example with your clients that you work with? I don't want to know details. Just give us an example of someone that you've worked with that's had an underlying issue which is unconscious. There's unconscious egoic agenda that's pulled them back. That because we have these unconscious stories playing out that are from the past that you've survived, but it's deep in the psyche because it's been a traumatic event, so traumatic that it's encapsulated in your heart, maybe, or the solar plexus or your base chakra. Miriam, can you give me one example of someone you've worked with that something's held them back and they just couldn't see it, but you brought it out with them through your coaching, please?
Yeah, I have, for example, one example, a lovely lady, but she's been in a toxic relationship for a long time. She tried to get free from this place, but she chose to stay in this relationship basically it's more comfortable, and she can't allow herself to be free. And many times it's so important to see what do you want, to start with this small step. We all do the best we can in all situations we have in our life. You don't need to fix yourself, but you need to see what do you want to be, the person you want to become, and to be in a place that can be free to be you and to be me, and no one else but you and yourself. To have a place you can have this support system when you can be open. What do you want to create? Allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to have the feeling to be. Allow yourself to be sad, have a sadness over your life, and forgive yourself. And see the reason why you end up in this relationship with this toxic person. That was for a reason as well. But how can we change this path? How can we do something different for the future so that don't happen again? And how can we change our mind set to be more free, to be ourselves, to be able to create the person we want to become? It's so much more possibility out there, but it's important to see why the reason why we stand in this lady. She was just, she wanted to be free, but she need to could also see that it was comfortable to be in this because she know what she have. Even if sometimes he's kind and sometimes he hit her, but at the same time she feel free and she feels safe. when she loved her. But it sounds crazy for some of us. But when being in a relation like that, you can also see the reason why she stays as well. So it's so important to see how can you find the belief for yourself. How can you find a new path? How can you do something different? How can we start to see when that starts, this feeling, when you feel you're lonely in yourself, and why the reason why you stay in this relation? How can we change and do something new, create a new belief, a new way of thinking, a new structure? And I believe, like you said, you've been working with Deon for a while. How is your connection with people around you? Do you think attract the same people you did before you start working with Deon, or can you see them differently acting in yourself? The communication you have with people, how do you feel yourself when you reach out to people and you talk to people? Can you see some different when you change yourself, that you see different of people around you as well?
Oh, that's interesting. Mm.
Yeah. Wow.
So I believe that it's most important to see that when we change yourself, we change the belief for yourself, and we see things differently. And things was normal before, it can see that you learn something new, a new way of thinking, a new belief. And I think that is the most important part. We also create new people in your life, and we need to let go and see that to be able to grow, we need to be uncomfortable as well, because we can't grow in our comfort zone, and we need to be uncomfortable, do something different, do a different step in our life, open up a new way of thinking, a new path of belief yourself.
Wow,
And when
this
you
is beautiful.
also go and you learn to see things different way, and you open up new gates, a new path, a new belief. Everything is, like you said before, everything is created on energy and frequency. So what happens when you change your frequency and you change your energy, you also attract new people into your life.
Right.
That's why it's so important to be intuitive as well, to see who we are in ourselves, be in line with our inner light, what we allow ourselves to be, which person you want to become, because everything is in our hand. We can create what we want in life, but we need to be concerned what we want. We be conscious in our belief, and also use super conscious to understand what's the reason why we have this experience. Go back in time to understand it deeply, so we can see what we have as for the moment in our current reality, and what we want in our destiny, in our future, in our
One thing, as Miriam was talking, guys, I was just thinking about my journey here. One of the areas I was trying to figure it all myself. I was just trying to solve it all by myself, by reading and doing whatever I was supposed to do, and not listening to people like yourselves. I was just trying to figure it out because I thought I was supposed to do that. Being a man, you're saying, "Hey, I'm supposed to figure this out, not anybody else." But that was not correct. And so it's so important that we have coaches and trainers that really understand how to do a deep dive into your own life and to help you bring it out, to truly be who you're supposed to be. So once I had the right people around me, I was able to get freed up mentally in some areas so I could really be the person I'm supposed to be. So that's what came to mind when Miriam was talking there for me.
What is the one key thing that led you to want to change?
For me, ladies and gentlemen, was my family, right? Family.
So
Just
why did family want give you the impetus to change your life?
I'm sorry, Deon, I didn't hear that. Let me make sure I got it.
Is the one key thing? What it is about? Because it was family. What
Yeah.
was for me when my father passed away? When I thought about my father's life, when Dad died in front of us, 5 weeks we sat and next to my father while he passed away in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a very hard thing to deal with. My dad wasn't a big communicator. He didn't communicate very well unless my mother wasn't around, which was quite interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, in saying that, my mother manipulated everybody in our family. I was very loving, but there was a lot of wounding going on there from childhood. I can say this freely now because Mum's not alive anymore. My mother was raped by her brother at 11 and again at 14. There's a lot of people that have had a lot of mental illnesses based on sexual abuse. There's a lot I could bring into this, but I'm not going to. It doesn't need to. From that traumatic event, that creates intimacy problems, that creates fear of being controlled, trust issues, and a myriad of things comes from those traumatic events, and then they end up with PTSD from it. And quite often, if it's really traumatic, like one of my clients was raped continually for a week, tied to a bed. She buried that so deep, so very deep inside her, that she didn't. I saw it, but I had to sort of coach it out of her till that she get to the point where she was able to release it. Fenella, you've got something on your mind.
Wow.
No, I'm just, oh, I was just listening to everything that you're saying then, yeah.
And I've dealt with a lot of clients, men and women, that have been raped. Not just women, men as well, when they were boys.
Right.
Sometimes they're priests. Sometimes it's some family member that's taken advantage of that small child.
Right.
Those sort of woundings are very deep and very painful. Now, I'm going to be very open here. I was abused as a child. Just think about it. And a lot of my woundings came from that event and events that circulated around that. I'm being very vulnerable here. So it's not just women. It is sort of sometimes even an adult. So I've had some clients, men, that have been taken advantage of sexually.
I was more mentally abused as a child, not physically abused. Very strict parents. My dad very, very strict.
Nigel, do you feel like a fucking mushroom kept in the dark and fed on bullshit? It might be funny, but I'm being quite frank here, or Bob or Ted or Alice.
This is Deon shining through with his intuition, because he knows, he picks up on everything.
Well, back in the day when I was, things have changed a lot over the years. People speak up and come forward more. There's more help available.
Right.
It was, if something happened when you were young, that was it. You just let it go. But now people come forward more these days.
Yeah.
See, in the call now, I'm picking up all this sadness and grief around this issue. And this is what happens when people hold on to this. It creates dis-ease in the body, doesn't it, Vanilla?
Oh, yeah. I've been the same. I was abused physically and mentally by my father. But you know what? I think my whole family have gone through the same thing. And my brother, he's an alcoholic, and he was admitted this year in rehab. And my father passed a year ago, and he didn't have a relationship with my father after my mother separated from him. He would have been I think he probably would have been about 12 years of age. And I think he has buried so much that's gone on inside of him since he was a child. But this year in particular, since my father has passed, I think there's a lot of things that are coming up for him, and it's not great for him. He's finding it very difficult. And I think for men especially, I think women tend to talk about these things a lot more easily than men, and especially when it's come from, like physical abuse and sexual abuse from family members is never spoken about, So
and the sexual abuse actually can be mental abuse.
Right.
Because I did
Oh,
a
it's everything.
workshop a while ago by a group called the Crimson Circle. And that workshop, you had to draw your abuser. And for me, it was my mother. I cried for over an hour having to draw that
I think,
face of my
yeah,
abuser.
Yeah. Wow.
a couple of points like to make from what we've been saying. One is, I think as a coach, we sometimes, well, very often, we put a mirror in front of the client's face, and we get them to look at things and see things that they haven't wanted to look at
Yeah.
for a long time, if ever.
Yeah.
And then also sometimes as a coach, the expression, I don't know if we have it over here, is you can't see the wood for the trees. The client can't see the wood for the trees. They're so involved in whatever's going on around them that they can't see the whole picture. And the
Right.
client helps to unravel and get them through that.
That's a really good
Of
example,
the-
Nigel. Miriam, can you give us another example, please?
Just like you said, Nigel, I believe it's so important to be honest for yourself and go behind ourselves, the reason or past, because you can't hide ourselves. Many times our body language or body have this security system that we want to protect ourselves because our past to be abused or have all bad experience in our life, we all have that. I grew up with just my mother. I lost my father. I grew up to feel unloved, unsafe, and I didn't want to live when I was young. A lot of things in my life. Ended up in a toxic relationship. I have a lot of things in my life. I get insured for a client. A lot of things happen. In the same time, to see heal yourself, because all past don't define our future. We have the power to change, learn from our history, but we need to feel this grief in ourselves, to see the reason why we have this experience, why we act the way we do, and how can that help us for the future as well. How can our experience help someone else in the future so they don't need to have the same experience we have? So it always a gift in everything in life, but it's important to go behind and to be honest for yourself. That's why it's so important to be intuitive, to see all that. We hide for ourselves, to understand ourselves. And that isn't hard process. It wasn't easy. That take time. It needs to take time. It takes time to heal, to grow, to find back to who we are and what we all want in our life, so we can create the future we want.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Vanilla, how much better is the coaching when you bring a bit of lightness and sort of hilarity into it?
Say that again, Deon. Sorry.
How much benefit? Because my coaching is vastly different to anybody else's. When I
Yes.
bring hilarity and sort of lightness into it, I'll take silly dad jokes or something or other just to bring some lightness into it. How much difference does that make?
Well, because it just takes the emotion away from it. So it also gives you the it just lets yourself go and trust and um yeah, and just have a bit of fun with your coach.
Because what happens is like this, Fidel and I have this banter when I'm doing my coaching with it, and I always bring a bit of sort of funny things into it. But how much better does that make you feel when you're going through and letting go of
Yeah,
stuff?
totally at ease. Totally at ease. It just helps you bring out the things that need
Then
to come
because you're
out.
building rapport with your clients, Nigel and Miriam, you know this, when you're building rapport with your clients, if you can bring more lightness and they'll open up more like Vanilla has it. We do appreciate you being your candor and tonight. We appreciate this a lot.
I think it depends on the seriousness of the topic that you're talking about. Really, I've been
Even
working
though
with
the traumas are there, the way you deal with it doesn't have to be overly serious, because then it's easier to release the trauma. The events can still be there, but when you release the emotional attachment and the power you've been giving it, the event can still be there, but it's not going to hold any power anymore.
Right.
Wouldn't
Wow.
you agree,
Yes.
Vanilla?
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Especially when your dad
Yeah.
passed.
it's easy to let it go.
Yeah.
It becomes easier to let things go.
Fenella, can you give us an example of when we worked together on that principle?
Of
Just of
what?
like, you're giving your power away to something, but when we did the process, whatever it was, whether it was when your dad passed or the lead up to that, or what happened after that with family members, what happens when you release the emotional attachment to whatever the event is, then you just don't give it any power any longer.
Yeah, you just allow, I think you allow for your emotions, but you don't actually feel like, like you're always going to have your emotions coming up. And uh, and sometimes every now and then I still think, well, what the heck was that all about, But you do have the tools to be able to get through that easier. And even though you're still dealing with things that are going on with family and everybody's different as an individual, but you just see things more clearly for yourself, and it doesn't matter so much anymore. You can deal with it differently.
Yeah. I love it.
Is there one example that you could give? I think it was mainly when your dad passed, or that lead up to that.
No, not really.
So what about after your father had passed, when you were supposed to stay there in New Zealand?
Oh, with my stepmom,
Yeah,
that
or
was
your
that
brother,
to me
or your siblings.
was, gosh.
You know, how you sort of felt rejected.
Oh, look, especially with when Dad had actually passed, and I pretty much sold everything in Sydney here to be with my family over there. Didn't realize that Dad was going to be passing so quickly, but he did. And my family over there, yeah, completely told me to come back to Sydney, that they didn't really want me there anymore. And that was painful. That was very, very painful at the time. I've got family here in Sydney, thank goodness. Had a place to come back to, but um, it was painful at the time, and yeah, and now I'm just what's acceptance. Everybody's
But you need to
grieves differently, and
be
it's
congratulated,
acceptance.
because you were brave enough to stand up, and this, a lot of it flows onto your family. Once you let go of a lot of the stuff around childhood wounding stuff, that flows on to your children, even your parents. Nigel, can you give us another example of something like that, please?
And Nigel, we got you on mute.
Nigel,
Got you on mute.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Yeah, recently a woman I've been working with, we identified that the present time issues that she's having. One is she tries to please all the family.
Oh, people pleaser.
And I thought, well, we're going to find out why we went back, we talked, we did all the processes. And from a child, she's got an elder brother, and a mom as a child told her, we only wanted one child. We don't want you. We don't. We didn't.
Otherwise, they weren't wanted.
You weren't planned. You weren't wanted. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been on her mind for all this time. And the reason we found, well, the reasons come from the client. She said, well, that's why I'm trying to please my family now, because I don't want the same things to happen to me to them what happened to me as a child. So she goes out of her way, and a family user as well, because she goes out of her way to please everyone, they use her.
Mm.
So we identify with that.
Many times
Please,
it
hang on a minute.
many times create so many limit beliefs for yourself. What happened in our background or family history is create a feeling for yourself to not be good enough, not be worthy of someone else's love, not to be seen, just to be there. And so why we act the way we do, because we learn from our childhood that was the right way to do. It's why it's so important to be aware from that and to see this picture, to see what happened in our past history and how can we learn from our history. And also, like you said, Deon, to set a stop for that. I can see it, but I don't allow that anymore. I don't accept that in my life anymore. And to have the power in our hand to create something new, see the reason why, and to understand, forgive ourselves. We have all acted the best way we could in our life from the situation we have, for our history, based on our paradigm, based on our back history. But to be able to see that also the power to do something new. We don't allow this thing in our life anymore. And we want to have something new, a new connection in our life, not based on this toxic people relationship we have when we grow up, but something else. And we also attract new people in our life based on our new belief we have for ourselves, because everything's connected by our feelings or for yourself that create a new belief, a new action, a new energy, and we also attract and create a new person from our own feelings. So everything is in line. We allow ourselves to the person we want to be. And
Yeah,
Nigel,
it's also
I think it's important tonight that you really let everybody know why you have to wear the dark sunglasses. You're not hiding behind them. You actually wear them because you're light
That's a bit
sensitive.
of a personal question. I've got eye floaters in the right eye and I'm very short-sighted, and the glare of the screen is too much. That's why I wear them.
Right.
I'm not hiding behind them at all. I just can't see without them on.
You're wearing your mask.
They're not sunglasses, they're prescription. They're prescription glasses.
Yeah,
So you can see us then.
There's some people that are struggling at the moment. Oh, why is that dude hiding behind the glasses? That's why I mentioned it.
No, not at all. Not hiding. I just can't. Just things are a bit of a blur without them on.
How are you?
He's also pretty cool too, ladies and gentlemen. He's pretty cool.
I wouldn't say that.
We'll all wear our sunglasses next week.
In the room.
But it is like that in life. We have our sunglasses. We can't see the reality. We can't allow ourselves to be. So we want to protect.
I suppose really they should be rose tinted, shouldn't they?
Yeah, rose-colored glasses.
Yes.
I should have find those other ones that I put on sometimes. There is somewhere.
That's a good one.
Back to that woman I was talking about, that these clients talked about earlier. I'm trying. You're familiar. I presume with mindfulness, the concept of being in the present. I'm trying to get her to do more of that. She dwells on the past a lot of bad things, and she's worrying about the future. And I'm trying to get her to focus more on what's going on, i.e.
That's
now.
where her anxieties are coming from.
Yeah, that's right. She's worrying about the future. She's dwelling on the past all the time. I said, you're not where you are now, and you need to, that's what we've been working on.
That's
How long have you known? How long have you known her?
Well, we knew probably 7 or 8 months, something like that.
It's because quite often when someone's had really deep traumas, it
Yeah.
takes a long time for them to get comfortable enough to want to let it go.
Yeah, well, she's had other issues. Like she had 2 husbands die on her.
On top or below?
So she's got one child. One of her daughters is paranoid schizophrenic, and the other one she's doing a degree in forensics and criminology. So you've got
The one, the 2 ends of the scale.
2 ends of the from the same from the same parents, from her obviously, and from the same father.
How long did it take you to really let go of a couple of particular things? Mainly was around parents.
With me?
Yes, please.
Oh God.
we had a big breakthrough with a lot of those things. But how long did it take to allow yourself to get to that point to let that go?
Man. Do you know what? I can say that it would take, it's taken me it has taken me 2 years. It's really taken for it's, I mean, like, quite honestly, I have not been, I've always been upfront with my abuse, especially with people, with clients, especially, because I mean, client to hairdresser is, I was always able to bring things out of them that by talking about myself and what happened in my experiences and that. But with me thinking that I had dealt with it right myself, but honestly, I think, oh God, I think maybe after a year with Deon, I felt pretty good. I think I came down when my father died. And then the few months that I hadn't seen Deon, I just uh, I
Did you fall back into old patterns?
well, yes, well that yes, I came back to Deon like 7 months later because I just felt I needed something to push me forward. And
Because you have to have that structural tension to be able to pull yourself like the rubber band. Do I have it here still? I guess
yes, and
Like-
those are the things that you've got
like
to
the rubber
keep
band.
focused on.
You have to have that creative tension, psychological tension. It's been a long day. Psychological tension pulls you down. Creative tension pulls you either direction. Your old reality, then the black end will try to pull you back as you're trying to create forward. But you need that structural tension, that creative tension to pull you forward. Because once your old identity becomes comfortable because your unconscious mind needs clear instruction, as we've talked about tonight a lot, once you let go of that current reality where you want to be the desired reality, Fenella's got a real clear image with where she's going. And Fenella is really intuitive and she's going to make an awesome coach. Now, when we have that desire, that current reality for Fenella at the moment is she's going to move in a different direction. Her desired reality is to be a coach, whether it's coaching hairdressers or clients or whatever it is. But she's going to make a fucking awesome coach because she's very intuitive when she allows it and surrenders. But you need that creative tension to pull you forward. Then the old reality will let go. But then you have to create other desired realities beyond that. Otherwise, you'll end up stagnating again.
Yes.
Can I just make an observation, if I can, Fernand, if you don't mind? You seem very relaxed and very calm and confident.
Oh, thank you.
Hmm?
Thank you, Nigel. Thank
Would you
you.
like a date?
My cat didn't like it. My cat will get jealous.
Just down the road.
I just might take a few weeks to get there.
I love
I've got my elephants. I can have a ride on my
There
elephant.
you go.
Yeah,
You
right.
make a drug call.
Oh, God, it's too funny. Where are you? Where are you living?
England, United Kingdom.
Oh, I
England.
hear the accent, but you could be somewhere
I
else.
thought it was
But yeah,
Chinese, but I don't know.
Chinese.
And Fenella, where are you located, Fenella? Where are you at?
I'm in Sydney,
In Sydney.
Australia.
At the moment.
Yeah.
I've done a painting at Sydney Opera House once upon a time in the cupboard somewhere.
That's
Well, that elephant that you've got on your shirt, I was actually born in East Africa, so I thought you might be in South Africa or something.
No.
No,
It's
you'd have a different accent.
it's to ban the trophy
No,
hunting shirt. It's to ban
that doesn't
trophy.
mean anything.
I
Love it.
It's
a great
ready to
shirt.
make a drunk call.
love it.
I can't compete. I can't compete. That's why I've got the dark glasses on, because of the brightness of their shirts that these two guys are wearing.
I
Actually,
reckon.
in saying that, I'm going to bring this point up. These shirts were actually designed for mental health awareness, because written across the back. Actually, I should. Okay.
Yeah.
Like men, children's toys. Sorry, my desk goes up and down. I just
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's beautiful.
I'm going to turn around and see what's written on the back.
Yeah.
Can't see.
Does it need to go up or down?
Conversation starter.
This is
Tone on the back is the words. This is a conversation starter.
Yeah.
I've bought about 3 grand's worth of these, 2 or 3 grand's worth of these shirts. I've given half of them away, because the more we can create mental health awareness, mental health awareness in the next few years won't be around, or very minimal, because the more awake we come, the more help we can get through all the great work that Nigel does, the great work that Miriam does, and myself. And together as a collective, we're going to get out further and further and further. And over the next few weeks, Fennell, please share this out everywhere. And anybody that knows that's struggling in any way of any sort of mental health, this is going to all of you. Send it out everywhere you can, whether it's LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram. Put it everywhere. I've been paying for ads out of my own pocket for this. It's already starting to get traction, but we need more bums on seats, as they say, and people coming onto the calls like this. So, and Fenella, I'm going to do a healing on you in a breakout room in a minute. As a thank you for coming on tonight. And I would say that Nigel, Miriam, and Kevin also appreciate, as well as myself, here coming on and being so candid.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much.
Pleasure. It's lovely meeting you all.
Go on, give her a big clap for coming on and being so open. Come on, Miriam, you can do better than that. Come on, Kevin. Come on, give her a clap, man. Don't stand there like a...
Absolutely.
Get out the balloons.
No, but it's important that you are ballsy enough to be open to talk about this. Is going worldwide.
Oh, I hope my family out watching.
I just hope get over
oh dear.
So I'm going to do a meditation, guided meditation now.
I want to say quickly, if I can, Deon, and fit well, guys. I think it shows as well how well Deon has worked with you, that you've got that confidence and the ability and the wherewithal to talk about what you've done.
Come forwards.
And it does say somewhere, I don't want to get too religious, but there's some quote in the Bible that says something like, "By our sufferings and experiences, we can help others." And I think that's what you're doing.
Yes.
And Fenella, when she's hairdressing, sort of does a little bit of coaching, does a lot of coaching. It's like a barman or a hairdresser. They're the ones that people open up to because they're feeling safe when they're cutting hair or pouring a beer. Like, when you go into the pub, Nigel, how many people talk to the barman?
Everyone.
Yeah.
Kevin, what about, because I don't think you drink, do you?
I'm sorry, Deon. I'm sorry. What was you doing? I was doing a little.
Do you go to bars at all? Like, and have a drink with a friend or anything like that?
No, I don't drink.
Well, good, because neither do I. Miriam, when you've been out with the girls for a wine, or have you noticed that people talk to the barman, or whether it's an event or a...
When I've been outside with my girlfriends, if I have recognized what?
You either want to flirt with them, or you know that you can let everything go because you're never going to see them again.
Yes, I believe that is a mentality to have after a while, or in this journey. You don't care anymore. The most important is that you know who you are and what you want in your life, and what people will always. Some people will love you, and some people will hate you. That is just the way of the journey. So it's most important part is to know who you are by yourself and find joy in your reality, find joy in your daily life, what brings you the best version of yourself, and don't care so much about everyone else around you. Some people will love you, but that is always good, and some will hate you. It's fine as well, you know.
Exactly.
Love yourself so you
Right.
can help others to fill your cup first, so you can be the best version of yourself.
Amen. That's why you need coaches and trainers to help you get through that. That's why you need. That's why we need you. We need you
I'm
guys.
just going to play a little bit of fun here, and I want you to tell me whether you can hear it or not. Can you hear that?
Ladies and gentlemen, here's a little number.
Is it too loud or not loud
Yeah.
enough?
Go louder.
Isn't it awfully nice to have a penis? Isn't it frightfully good to have a dong?
Oh, wrong one.
It's swell to have a stiffy. It's divine.
That sounds pretty good here.
To the world's biggest.
Oh my gosh.
So three
See what happens when you're not concentrating? Anyway, that was funny. Anyway. Where's the other one?
That's pretty good, dear. I don't know what that was, but it sounded good.
Oops.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, yeah, no, I got to go back up to the list to go back.
Yeah.
No, that's not that one. Definitely not that one again. Oh, okay. Oh, actually, now I'm going to play a couple of ones of my poems that have a meaning based on what we've done tonight. And I just want you to tell me whether you can hear it or not, please. Your parents are always with you.
We'll give you a thumbs up.
Whisper to leave as you walk down the street. Is it loud enough? The smell of certain foods you remember, the flowers you pick, the fragrance of itself, the cool hand on your brow when you're not feeling well, the breath in the air on a cold winter's day, the sound of the rain that lulls you to sleep, the colours of the rainbow, the Christmas morning, your parents live inside your laughter, the place you come from, your first home, the map you follow with every step you take. They're your first love, your first friend, or even your first enemy. But nothing on earth can separate you. In no time, in no space, not even in death. My name's Deon Dean. I hope you enjoyed this small poem. It's a tribute to my parents. This was read out at my father's funeral. And so be it, and so it is, I bear witness. Hi, my name's Deon Dean. This poem is called In the Distance. I was lost, but now I'm found. In the distance I see clearly, a little more than before. In the distance I see more and more. In the distance between worlds I see clearly now. In the distance I may see myself clearly. In the distance I see my love, which is me. In the distance for the first time I see myself more clearly than before. In the distance I see you and me. Who is you and who is the me? And who is you? It's all parts of the soul, which is me, the luminous crystalline light body, which always has been me. In the distance, I now see everything clearly, the past, the present, all parts of me. Once I was lost, now I'm found, all of me. Once in the distance, now clearly in front of me. No longer in the distance, now right in front of me stands all of me. Now that I'm found, myself, all of me. Once in the distance, now in front of me, all of me, loving me, all of me. Because what that poem is, the whole emphasis on that is when you're in tragedy or traumas for PTSD, whether you've been in the army and come back and all of a sudden you can't cope, and all of a sudden if you've had guidance and coaching, because you see yourself so far in the distance because it's like blurry, because you don't want to see yourself.
Right.
The whole emphasis and the point of that poem is as you let go, and let that crap go, you gradually see yourself more and more as the authentic person you've always been, but you've not allowed yourself to do that because of the deep traumas you've suffered. So therefore, you can't see yourself so far in the distance, you can't even feel like you can hug yourself.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you come right up and you go, "Oh, geez, I love me."
That's what I was saying earlier, Deon, about you can't see the wood for the trees, and the couch helps you to do that.
Yeah, Nigel. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to play the next track that I've written the lyrics for. Replace yourself in this is with my fiance. This song I wrote the lyrics for, that replace the person's name with yourself. It's love of self. So just think about the words as it's sung.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I can't explain something strange happened when we got together. Connected through electric memory, a type of bond that lasts forever. You're a light in space and time. I can't believe you're on mine. You make me better. It's 'cause of your love I found my way in life.
Just replace your own self.
Make your dreams.
Talking about your things to yourself.
I'm devotedly yours forever. I can't believe you're mine. I'm falling further in love. Since we reconnected, it just keeps getting better. I want this love forever. Yeah, I want this love forever. You make me feel invincible. I love how your body is so sensual. You inspire
You're thinking to
me
yourself.
to create more. Love and life, this world is better 'cause of your love. Good things come and go, but I ain't letting you go. Now I want this love forever. Beautiful, the way you bring me heaven here on earth. I wanna love for you, make your dreams come true. I'm devotedly yours forever. I can't believe you're mine. I'm falling further in love. Since we reconnected,
You're reconnecting to yourself. You're finding the inner love of self again.
Yeah, I want this love.
So you want to love yourself forever.
I love the way we
So you're reconnected to yourself.
We fell in love again. In this
You're falling in love with yourself again from when you were a child. Before you got fucked over by whoever was in control of your life.
My love is out for you.
Because we're born pure creative spirits. It's only when you get
I forever honor
the
and trust you.
conditioning takes over.
Respect you and devotedly
Then you fall in love with yourself again and become that hero soon.
honestly, so madly and deeply in love. I wanna love.
Some of you aren't quite around that journey yet.
Make your dreams come true. I'm
Close.
devotedly yours forever. I can't believe you're mine.
Anybody listening
I'm
to
falling
this song,
further in love.
you replace yourself
Since
with
we
it.
reconnected,
Because once you
it just
discover
keeps
yourself and
getting
your authentic
better.
self without having to put a mask on again, you can become one with yourself and love yourself maybe for the first time in your whole life. If you've always been controlled and manipulated and fucked over by someone, especially if you've had drug addict or alcoholic parents.
And I'm writing you this song just because I want to show you my love.
Miriam, I would like you to continue this conversation while I do a healing for Fadila as a gift for her coming on tonight, please. Flow on from that the whole aspect of once you were in the distance because you didn't want to see yourself. And once you do the healing work and let go of the actions, like the fear and the judgments, are giving your power away to the event. But once the emotions are gone, you then can actually start to love yourself for the first time. Because you must let love in, love yourself, love the one within before you can let love in.
Yeah.
4 statements I always say to Fennell, I've said this to Miriam: expect nothing, observe everything, lose the need to know, and the biggest ones, just be present. So in this tonight, we're all being present. We're all focused on this mental health initiative.
Yep.
I really super appreciate Fennell. We're acknowledging you for coming on and being your candor tonight. And we're just going to give you a big round of applause for that tonight. Come on, Miriam, come on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Fennell. Thank you.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, now I'm going to put
And it's been an
into a
experience for
breakout.
me as well. I'll take care, guys.
Oh, you're going to go. Hang on, I'm trying to find breakout
Oh, I
rooms.
don't know. Am I?
These breakout rooms, we don't have them.
Yeah, we got them set up. I got them set up for that. Let's see if I can activate those real quickly. I'm going to open up all the rooms now. I think they're all open now. Are they all open? You guys see those? Yeah. And I think, Vanilla, you can go into Deon's room. There you go. I'm going to join with Miriam.
On the breakout rooms, Kevin.
Yeah. You got them? Are you in them?
No, they can there.
Hold on a minute. Let me, it should be, I've got one for you.
It make me co-host.
Okay, that's okay, but I got you in one. I got Deon, I got you. And
No, I want you guys to stay in the main room and just Fenella and I in the other one. They put Fenella and I, when she comes back on, in the other breakout room, please.
Fantastic. Well, let me get rid of, let me close, let me go back to the broadcast and, oops, that's a broadcast message.
Just please relate to everybody that might be watching this, what just happened.
Mm-hmm. And let me close.
You press record because I didn't hear it. Oh, it's still recording. That's all.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna leave.
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
I've got
it. So put Fenella and I into a breakout room.
Mm-hmm.
Next week you need to make one of us a co-host.
Okay.
And then if we get a couple of people, Nigel can do a healing, Miriam can do, and then you can just keep talking to whoever's on.
Mm-hmm.
So please put Vanilla and I into a breakout room, please, where it's a private, it's a safe container for us, so there's nothing, because it can get quite personal.
Yeah, let me go ahead and get that set up here properly for you. So I'm going to put.
You can assign the breakout rooms manually, which I want you to. That's easier, please.
Yes, sir. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to open up the room and let's go ahead and have join. Let's see, have join.
Not now.
Just Vanilla and Deon are together, right?
If I join, I will be together with them, so I don't.
Not now. Say not now.
Yeah, we're gonna stay. Yeah, we're gonna stay on the main. Yeah, we'll stay on the main page right here.
Yeah.
Technology, love it.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now we got Deon and Vanilla in a breakout room, and he wanted us to stay in the general session so we can continue to talk. So Miriam, I'm so excited, and Nigel, so glad you're here. I just want to update everybody who's listening around the globe. Hey guys, we are in global discussion on mental health, illness, and solutions with Miriam Wallin and also my good friend Nigel Goodwin. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you their websites a little later on so you can get in touch with them. But Miriam, any thoughts there? And Nigel, you next as well. But Miriam, anything you would like to share as we continue this wonderful discussion? on mental
We
health.
will talk a lot already about everything, but like Deon said, it's so important to be present, to see, live in the moment, not in the future, not in your history, but in the present moment, and find joy and peace in the present moment that you are and what you want to create. Because when you can be in line with the present moment, you also have some creative. Can start a creativity as well. So it's so important to stay in this space, to enjoy this person you are right now, not for what happened in the future, not what happened in the past, but right now in this present.
Yeah, I love it. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and that we are just, all of us are human. We always do the best we can in a situation in life, and it's also the reason why we have our history or past, but for a reason, and to see how we have a connection to the present moment as well, to become the best version of ourselves.
Absolutely. I was just thinking too, Nigel, this topic is on every continent, every city, every county on the planet. Everybody has a challenge. Isn't that something? So, Nigel, any thoughts? Wow.
Just to mention, if I can, this book that I've been, I don't know if you can you see that okay?
A bit more closer.
Yeah, The Body Keeps Score. I love that title. Wow.
It's about PTSD. It's by a Dutch guy named Bessel van der Kolk. And I've been learning a lot from it. He gives a lot of testimonies and examples of different, examples of traumas, which is what we're talking about today. Really good book. I recommend that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you so much, Nigel, for that. Powerful. One area I wanted to have you guys discuss, if you don't mind, how important forgiveness is.
Yes.
Oh man, I know it's big. Now, guys, I am not the expert here. We got Nigel and Miriam. They're the experts in this area. I'm kind of the co-host and host here, and moderator, if you will, for this global discussion. But Miriam, can you talk a little bit, and Nigel later, how important forgiveness is? We gotta.
I believe that is really crucial, because if you can't forgive, you can't even love someone. And you want to love yourself, so you need to forgive yourself. And to see that it was the reason why you act the way you did. It was the reason why you end up in this relationship with this toxic person. It's the reason why you have this past in your life. And forgive you and forgive this person. Because when you forgive something, what happens is that you feel you release yourself. And you can feel open. And you can also attract more love in yourself. You can attract more positive thing in yourself, because it will be flowing much more easy. So when you start to give something, when you forgive yourself, you release yourself for all this past history, and you can start a new chapter in your life, where you're much more in line with the person you want to become. So, and also open up the gate for forgiveness and for love into your life. And the flow system, like you said, Nigel, many times we can feel that you tried something and you feel you're stuck in a situation, or you can have this one step forward and one step back, always going back and forward. But to have these flowing things, and to be able to live in life with flow, just love. It's so important to love ourselves and forgive ourselves, because it's open up the flow in our life. So to start with small exercise, like give love for everything that happened in your life. For example, I give love for the store before I went to the store, of the purse I want me today. Because when you send love to someone, what happens is that it also gets back to you. Everything you get out for yourself, it also get back to yourself. It reflects back to you. So that's why it's so important to forgive yourself, so you can love someone else and also attract more love into your life, for example.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if Miriam is from Norway, so for those on that part of the world, Miriam Wallin, I want you guys, she's a certified life coach. If you need to talk to her privately, which we recommend you do as well, you can contact her at Anchor of Freedom, anchoroffreedom.com. That's where you set up your appointment and get in touch with Miriam if you need some specific and private counseling, if you will. She can help you in that area. Once again, that's anchoroffreedom.com is the location for those in that part of the world. She's in Norway, guys, but she does take global areas as well. But I want you to contact her as you need as well. Deon, can you talk, Brother Nigel, how important is this wonderful word called forgiveness, my friend?
Well, forgiveness is a thing that I found hard to come to terms with years ago, but as I've got older and learned, then if you don't forgive, well, forgiveness, Bob Proctor, you've ordered Bob Proctor, the great mind and abundance guru who died a few years ago, sadly, but he did have a good old age. He talks about forgiveness as letting go. Let it go.
Yeah.
And effectively, if you don't forgive someone, the majority of the time it's hurting you. If I have a resentment against Miriam for whatever reason, which I wouldn't, but if I did, she wouldn't know about it, but I would, and it would just be hurting me.
Yeah.
And even in the Bible, it's the Lord's Prayer. Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us.
Absolutely.
I can.
Yeah.
Very
important. So very important.
And I think, in the past time, I've forgiven people, and reconciliation is really powerful. It's the reconstituting of love, if you like. You're getting back into love, into affinity with that person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's powerful. Miriam and Nigel, as we have some time here, I want to ask you what are some areas you would coach in general today? How do I forgive? How can I forgive somebody who's done something wrong to me? Any particular areas I need to any tips there that you could help me with a little bit? I just don't want to forgive that person. I just don't want to forgive them.
I would try and say, put yourself in their shoes. Imagine what they're thinking, how they're feeling. Switch it around. Instead of thinking about me and how I'm feeling, put yourself in their shoes. Well, why do you think? Look at it from their viewpoint.
Yeah. I have to calm down, though. I would have to calm down, really calm down, because you've been traumatized by whatever event it was, but you really have to just calm down.
Well, that's another thing. Another point then is to learn to respond to situations and not react.
There you go.
Nothing happens, stand back, have a few breaths, leave it a while, come back. Don't just dive in.
Yeah.
Just relax, think about it, leave it for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've been trained really, not now, but before I've been trained to react. I mean, hey, you did something to me, I'm going to get you right back right now, But you're saying, hey, I need to just hold off, think about it, and find out all the options for responding.
Sometimes if I get somebody message me or said not very nice, I'll leave it for some days sometimes until I feel right, till I feel the time's right for me,
Yeah.
It's very easy to just to go and respond back or email or whatever, or ring them up.
Yeah.
And it can cause matters to get worse sometimes. So just take a step back, leave it, do something else.
And I believe that most of us, we love ourselves. And what happens is if you can't forgive someone, then you hurt yourself.
Yes.
Because the person you can't forgive, he don't know that you hate him or what happened, because he can't recognize that. So what happens is that you just carry that yourself, that you feel more worse. And so to switch this feeling, it's so important to forgive this person, because what happens is that you send out love instead for hate. You send out love, and you also, if this person can't respond, so it'll get back to you. So what happens if you send out anger, if you send out all this negative energy, it also get back to you, same things. You get more angry, more sad, more depressed. But if you can switch this belief and to forgive this person, even if you don't deserve it, but you deserve that, to have peace in your mind, to be able to create something new, you need to forgive yourself so you can create something new and to learn from this situation. That's why it's so important to switch this belief for yourself, because you love yourself and you want to switch, attract love yourself instead of angry and anxiety and depression. So when you forgive something, you also show love, and you also attract love into your life.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love it.
Thanks, Miriam. Yeah, another biblical bit of scriptures come to mind is where Jesus says, if someone strikes you, turn, offer another cheek.
Gotta forgive them.
Very hard in some situations, I guess.
Right.
But makes you the better man or better woman at the end of the day, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think a lot of times we're just not taught, right? I personally, I just wasn't taught. I didn't, I wanted to do the right thing, but I didn't know really what to do. So you need coaches, you need trainers, you need people that can help you navigate through that, area. to say, hey, well, think about maybe another way of handling it, you know? So that's where our coaches come in, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it's so important to have a Nigel and also a Miriam in your life professionally. I'm talking about professional people now. Hey, real quickly, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Nigel Goodwin. He's in the UK, and he's a mental health coach. His website, I looked it up, Nigel, I had to look it up there, Nigel Goodwin and that's Crivado, I believe, crivado.com. Is that correct, Nigel?
That's mainly my art and so on, and paintings and poetry. But you
Yes.
can email me if you give me my email address. That's that's as good.
Fantastic. Good deal. I'll look that up too as well. I think I do have that. Let me see if I have that handy here as well. I believe I do right here. Yep, sure do. Right here.
An organized man. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get in touch with Nigel Goodwin, he's in the UK. If you're listening in the UK area, that part of the world, that's Nigel Artist at yahoo.co.uk. Once again, that's his name, Nigel, first name, Artist at yahoo.co.uk. You can contact Nigel there for consultation or for initial.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much, Nigel. I'm excited about being with you today. This has been an awesome day. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening right now, or been with us, we've been talking about a global discussion on mental health and illness and the solutions. There's so much. We know what the problem is, but we got to have solutions, don't we, Nigel and Miriam? So important to do that as well. I love that. That's great. So, Miriam, I was going to ask you, how is your day looking today? What's your day looking like today? And Nigel, same for you in a minute here. But Miriam, how's your day looking today?
Today I have one visitor from one of my horse farm. I have rentals. I have some prospects looking for it. So it was great. Rental business. And I'll go outside later on.
Wow.
And have kind of meetings. So it's always someone you need to help and someone who needs to meet. That's fine. And I love it. The best part of this journey, because you shouldn't be in this life alone. You need to help surround people and help each other out, and to become the best person for yourself and the person you help. So that's.
I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, also too, Nigel and Miriam on Facebook too as well. You can contact them on Facebook page as well. Just type in their name there. You see it on the screen there as well. Nigel, what about you, sir? How's your day looking, sir?
Oh, I've got a few things lined up later on. I've got some personal admin to sort out. I do a process on a Thursday evening with a guy. It's called The Letter, and it's with our very good friend Ruan Kutsia, who's in South Africa, who Miriam knows.
Yeah.
It's helping. It's all right, us coaches having to help others, but sometimes we need a bit of help ourselves. Well, I do anyway. So and this letter is it's the questions are prompted and it comes from within. You just write about just like a free, and it just gives you insights into yourself as well. So I'm doing that. I've got a friend coming this afternoon who's going to come and do a little bit of work for me. A couple of phone calls. So yeah, busy.
I love it. Yeah, exactly.
I've really enjoyed this session. It's been really, really good.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. And we know that if you have to go, let me know, Nigel and Miriam. We understand your time is valuable as well. We're glad to accommodate that as well. Hey, I did want to ask you about, if you don't mind talking just briefly about how important the foods or the diet that we have as we
definitely.
Oh man, I can only imagine.
What we believe now is, well, for some time, is that the gut is the second brain, and what you put into you is very important. I mean, I have put a bit of weight on because I've not been able to exercise because of a bit of illness, but I do take proteins, a protein drink.
Yes, sir.
Vitamins and minerals, 2 of those a day. I don't eat as healthy as I was sometimes. I live alone and I'm a bit lazy sometimes. But yeah, definitely what you put into you is very, very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. And a lot of water, right? Nigel, drink a lot of water.
Oh, I can't see, yeah. I did have a...
Yeah, exactly. Drink a lot of water. Miriam, what about your thoughts on the diet as well as we talk about solutions to mental health? How important is our diet today?
Yeah, I believe it's quite important. We be like that we eat, and there's much more about the mindset as well. If you went to a store and you can see all this fruit and you see the green veggies and you feel, if you buy these things, you feel much more better for yourself, that you make your body a favor. For my own part, I love vegetables, I love fruit, I love have a healthy lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I also, if I go to the store and I can look for the sheeps and have the sweets and have all these things, what happened, yeah, it's good at this moment, but you always feel really overwhelmed. You
Yeah.
don't feel it for yourself. If you buy a lot of chocolate and you have a lot of things, you don't feel very good after you have eaten these things. But so it's quite important to have a healthy lifestyle, to have that on a regular basis, eat a lot of vegetables every single day. And
Yes.
also training. For my part, I have that in my part of my morning routine. I have a yoga, for example. I also
Yeah.
have exercise every single day, and I
Yeah.
take time to eat healthy food, eat a
Yeah.
lot of vegetables, eat a lot of fruit, because I know that will help my brain to work much more better as well. So I do things for my body. Not I need to look fit. I don't need to have this good looking is fine, but I do that for my own place so I can have the energy I need. And I know if I treat myself well, if I eat good
Yeah.
food, if I have my daily exercise, I feel much better for myself. I have much more energy. And I also feel much more positive in my mind, so I can be the person
Yeah.
I want to become. So it's
Yeah.
much more about the mindset, so you can be able to be the person in all aspects in your life.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
It's quite important to have a healthy lifestyle, eat
Yeah.
a lot of things. And you sent me a note, for example, a couple of weeks ago about an energy drink. It was quite good with vinegar, cinnamon, and some, something more inside. I don't know exactly. Lime, and it's just perfect. It's so easy thing. You feel very good when you drink it. It gives you much more energy. So take
Yeah.
time to have healthy lifestyle, have
Yeah.
time to
Um,
eat
another
good.
thing I do on a well, physical and mental is and spiritual really is meditation, which we've talked about. I meditate at least once a day. It's
Yeah.
my especially if things are getting a bit hot or a bit stressed or whatever you want to call it. Just meditate half an hour, 20 minutes, whatever. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a timeout for me. It's like a timeout, like a half time at football, whatever, you know, and have a break, have a meditate, come back to it. Love it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, so much. That's so important. I know in the States, a lot of people are creating their own gardens in their on the property, or they have community gardens as well, where they get fresh fruits and vegetables all year round. Just incredible.
There's there's a great thing on Monday in this country with we have I have groceries delivered, and on
Mm,
a Monday they have a special half price on nearly all fruits. So I get
yeah,
my bananas, apples, grapes, oranges, you name it, the lot for half price, and I've got a kitchen full of fruit in there,
yeah, yeah.
and I love
Excellent.
it. I love it. And I love lemon water. Another drink I love is either hot lemon water
Yeah,
or cold lemon. Hot water when it's obviously cold, and sometimes I put a bit of lime in and a piece of lime or some honey. Drop some honey in. Oh, it's
yeah.
beautiful to drink. Hot water with lemon and sorry, hot lemon water with honey and some lime.
You love it. I love
Especially I've
it.
got a bit of a sore, it's been helping I've got a bit of a sore throat. I don't know what. It's really refreshing as well. And
Yeah,
I'll talk about it at some point. There's lemon
yeah,
has got a
exactly.
lot of properties, a lot of properties. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of positive, good properties.
Yes, I love. Matter of fact, Miriam and Nigel, I love juicing. I juice apples and carrots and whatever else can go in the juicer, but I love that juice, man. It's amazing, and it does make a difference for your body. And I'm excited about that as well. Hey, Nigel and Miriam, I want to respect your time. How you looking on time? You good so far? Or?
Yeah,
Um, we've been on. Might have to go soon because we've been on about what 2 hours now. Is it almost? Is
Yeah, no, yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, I got Nigel. Excuse me, I got Deon in the room. I think for 20 minutes with Miss Vanilla there. So hopefully he'll be back here in a few seconds here. But if you got to go, let me know. We understand and don't want to hold you guys over time. But any thoughts? Any final takeaways today, Nigel and Miriam? Miriam, you start first. Any takeaways from today, which for us out there listening?
today I believe we're talking about so much, but I believe the most important
Yeah,
part is to find back to yourself and to find what joy in life, and
Right.
do small action step in your daily life, like healthy food, like you said.
Right.
Healthy drink. Water is the best thing you can drink. It helps your skin, and your skin also change
Yeah.
quite often, for example. So if you have one easy beauty treatment is just the water, it better help you to feel much better, help you with the blood within yourself. And then your thoughts for yourself, because all thoughts create a feeling. This feeling creates a new belief, a new action step in line with the person you want to become. It is also a reason why we have, or we do like we do in our present moment. But it's important to see our past, and our past don't define our future. We have the power to change. Even we have all these toxic people around us, we can't change them. We can't change anyone. The only thing you have control over is yourself. To see that you can control yourself and love yourself with the person you are, and find people in the same frequency you want to be with, or you are. Because find new things, new people bring you joy in your life, who can help you to become the best version of yourself. So, but I think that is the most important, to love yourself in the present moment, find back to joy within yourself, and connect your inner light. We all have that, even the thing is hard, but we can find back to a connection with God or creation, with inner light. It's so important to become the best version of ourselves. So, and just be kind to yourself. That is the reason why we have the life we have, and it's a gift in everything. We learn something from the life, all aspects in life.
Amen. I love it. Hey, you may ask, ladies and gentlemen, you may ask, well, why do we do all this? Why do we do all this? Well, that's very simple, because you matter. You matter. Nigel, they matter. Everybody on the planet matters.
That's what I was going to just finish off by saying, that we're blessed that we've got, people moaning in the past when we had COVID and people going on Zooms. We've got the technology to unite people from around the world with a common goal of helping others with mental health issues to get a different and hopefully better way of life.
Amen. I love it. I love it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Miriam and Nigel. They're from around the globe there, ladies and gentlemen. Nigel is in the UK and Miriam's up in Norway. I can't wait to visit that country. It's so beautiful there. I tell you, I can't wait to get a plane and just visit over there and hopefully see Miriam one day as well and hug her wonderful neck. But you guys are amazing. Just amazing over there. I love it. Global discussion on mental health and illness, guys. It is a global area. But we're going to be talking about solutions so we can eradicate all the issues that people are having around the globe. That is powerful. Nigel and Miriam, anything else you want to discuss while we have your time today? Anything else right now? You good?
Just to say thank you for chairing, hosting, whatever. Kevin did a great job. Thank you to Deon for his expertise.
Awesome.
Massive thank you to Miriam, who's looking resplendent. Here's a nice word.
Always.
And also to the lovely Finella, who was just brilliant to come along and to speak about personal things like that. Thanks to God for bringing us all together.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, he gets all the credit, doesn't he, Nigel? Miriam, he gets all the credit. Yeah, amen. Amen. And we want to bless you. Amen, brother. We want to bless your families, ladies and gentlemen, those who are listening around the globe. We want to bless you and your families. And if you ever need some help, just give us a call. Give us a holler. If you guys want to get in touch with Nigel or Miriam through this network that you see it on, let me know and I'll make sure you get your request as well, okay, respectively. So if you got to get in touch with Deon or Miriam or Nigel, guys, we'll make sure they get the information if you request it on this platform, because this is going to be on about 8 different platforms. So I'm excited about that on social media. So guys, get excited. That's wonderful. But I love it. That's powerful. Well, Deon, Nigel and Miriam, you guys can go if you need to.
I have to go off now. It's been brilliant, but I have to go. Yeah,
thank you so much for your time today, and we love you guys so much from the United States.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you again, Miriam.
All right.
Bye, guys.
All right. Take care. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Have a good. Take care. Have a great day now.
Goodbye.
All right. Bless you. Amen. All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kevin Vaughan. We got Deon is in session right now. He's in a session, one of the breakout rooms right now. with one of his clients. So we're going to wait for him to come back in. We're on a global discussion on mental health and illness solutions, working on solutions as well with some qualified people. Once again, Deon Adams is an intuitive coach, healer coach, ladies and gentlemen. His website, just for those who need to know his website, well, check him out. Do your research, guys, on these people as well. ConsciousHealingArts.net. He's out of Australia. So for those, but he does take on global clients as well. And then Miriam Wallin, who's a certified life coach, she's also an author and speaker. She's in Norway, and her website is anchoroffreedom.com. Anchoroffreedom.com. She's out of Norway. We are connecting around the globe with these wonderful people. And then Nigel Goodwin, he's in the UK. He is a mental coach, mental health coach. And he has an awesome website as well. But he would like for you to get in touch with him through his email. And let me give you that email again, guys, for those who like to have that email. His email address is nigelartist@yahoo.co.uk. Once again, Nigel Goodwin, he is a mental health coach. nigelartist@yahoo.co.uk. Okay, so we're excited about that, and I wanted to share that with you. But this is our team, guys. This is our global discussion on mental health and illness and solutions team. I'm kind of the host there and the moderator for this time. As you can see the map behind me, we got some global presence there as well. We're just looking for more people to help us as well. So if you're certified in a specific area and you want to be a part of this, let us know and we'll check you out. I would say send your bio, send your contact information. So send your bio for all the doctors and holistic people who are certified, who have have your degrees in this area. We highly recommend you be a part of this wonderful panel as well. What we'll do, we'll send out a link later on for you for those who request that, and also provide you a promo video. I got to work on the promo video this week as well, so we'll get that together, send that out, and then we'll be here on Thursday mornings, guys. Well, depending on where you're at around the world, but we'll be here on Thursdays at 5. We're going to start doing this at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then respectfully around the globe, which will be Norway, UK, and Australia. Specifically in, I think it's the Gold Coast is where where Deon's at. He's in the Gold Coast on that side of the planet. So once again, we're just excited about being with you today. I love it. So guys, what we're going to do here, we're going to wait for Deon to come back in along with his wonderful guest. So I'm going to give yourself a little break here. So we'll be back as soon as he gets back in. Okay. So we're going to take a little break. So I'll just keep the banner up and then we'll conclude here in a little while. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. God bless.
it open.
Hey, we're back. Hey, how you doing? Yeah,
Okay, can you stop the recording, please?
I can do that, sir. Thank you so much.